tell us a little bit about like what your collection consists of.
Honestly, I collect whatever I like. A lot of people out here say like, oh, I stick to certain things. I mean, as you could see from the sneakers I bought, like I'm into, Jordans, LeBrons, Dunks. I'm not really a Kobe and a KD person. I buy the ones that I like. I buy the ones that complete series and stuff like the What Does. So I bought all those. But majority Jordans, honestly, that's my thing. I have hundreds of pairs of Jordans.
Okay. So like how do you get your hands on these PEs, man? What's that orange retro you got there?
This is a Melo PE. It's a 1 of 2. I've told the story a lot, but a lot of people know I've had this shoe before Carmelo Anthony had the shoe. So, I acquire shoes. I've made a lot of connections, and a big thing in the sneaker game, which I'll tell to a lot of the younger cats out here, is always try to be a man of your word. If you have made a deal with somebody or have connections with somebody, always try to keep those connections on the positive and in the right way. Like I had a guy who hit me up and said, I want this shoe from one of my boys. And he ended up flaking. So me being a man that I connected with him, I bought the shoe from him. And it wasn't even my size shoe. Just so it wasn't, that connection that I had, he always knows I'm good. So if I tell him I want something, he knows that I'm going to come through and buy it and whatever else. I mean, when it comes to the PEs and stuff, the way it was 4 or 5 years ago compared to the way it is now money talks. That's just across the board. Whoever got the most money, whoever got more money to offer is going to get that shoe. So when I was acquiring some of my PEs that I got, it was more about the friendships that I developed with people who I got the shoes from. So like that was a big thing like a few years back. There's a lot of people who are out here right now that they buy as many PEs and samples as they can get because all they see is dollar signs. Or you have these little kids who buy shoes and they flex on Instagram and then a week later you see the same shoe for sale.
Yeah, of course.
Like the shoes that I buy, I'll have forever. Or I'll have to pass on to my son or whatever it may be. I mean, very rarely do I sell any of my own personal shoes. Like there's actually a shoe that I'm gonna sell to one of my boys down in Florida to complete one of the collections that he's trying to do. And the only reason I'm selling to it is because I know what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I respect his hustle and his grind for what he wants to get. Like he wants to get all the 28 days numbers like 1 through 14. So he has like 2 through I think 9 or 10 right now.
Okay.
But I have the 1.
Right.
So I was in Florida at SneakerCon last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, and we were just chopping up. He was like, yo, you got the 1. I need that 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'd only sell it to you because I know what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And out of respect for that, it's like, I understand. Just like if I was in the same position as he was in and I didn't have the 1, you can't start a collection without the 1.
Of course.
So, we worked out a good deal and whatever else. So, I mean, but like that's a certain situation where I would sell a shoe. But I'll always pass that, bro. I don't sell my shoes. Ever. You know what I mean? People always offer me like, I've got crazy, people offer me $30,000 for my Melo.
That's crazy.
And I haven't taken it. And it's not because, like, I don't want the money. I like the money, but I'd rather have the shoe more. And, like, a lot of people don't feel that way about shoes the same way I feel about shoes. Like, this shoe has a story behind it and has a meaning to me. Just like how I acquired all of these shoes, I could sit here and tell you a story about how I got every shoe that's on this couch. And, like, a lot of these kids these days just is like, they want to say, oh, I own this shoe. But it's like, it's not about I own this shoe. It's more about like, I like the shoe, I want to wear it, and it has a meaning to me. That's the difference between having like a passion for sneakers and then just out here trying to impress other people.
Holy grail sneakers in your collection right now, what would they be?
Space Jam 11s, all white ones. I got like 8 pair of all white ones.
All white ones?
Yeah, all white Jordan ones. I got 8 pair of those, just all the same ones.
Wow. Okay.
I'm a huge Cavs fan, and I've waited my entire life to talk to you. Can you literally say anything to me?
What's up?
Yeah! Awesome! Yeah!